We come to this new podcast to tell stories.
To be inspired.
To listen to voice.
Here, stories are power.
And power is dice.
And dice is the essence of water.
And what is the ocean but a multitude
Of dice.
of dice?
This preview that you are about to listen to holds special meaning for the future of humanity.
We will save the world with our voices and our personalities.
You will leave this podcast changed and unrecognizable to your peers and family.
You will be an outcast with immense strength.
The power that you are about to gain, it will change the world.
But at a terrible cost.
When you look in the mirror, you will no longer see the man, woman, or person, or rodent, or dice you once were.
Thank you for coming to a theater of the mind, the way podcasts were meant to be listened to.
Because here, magic is audio, and audio is all that matters.
And podcasts are dice.
And here, they are.
The flyers for the circus start appearing before it arrives, though no one sees who posts them. They're simply there one day, pasted onto buildings and light posts, tacked up on community bulletin boards. The flyers say very little. They're printed on soft, thick paper with colorful words in a looping font declaring that the circus is coming. It lists no day, no time, no location. It doesn't need to. When the colorful striped peak appears on the edge of town a few days later, the news travels fast. There's only the one tent, an enormous, colorfully striped thing that is held in place by heavy wooden stakes and thick cream-colored ropes. The stripes are all of different hues, a chaotic eyesore that towers up in what was once an empty lot or a field, and is now a beacon of mystery. But no one sees it being set up. No one sees the circus train pull into the station. No one sees the cargo unloaded. No one sees the stakes pounded into the ground. No one sees the ropes uncoil. No one sees the fabric soar high into the air, hoisted by the tent pole in the center. No one sees it, but it happens anyway. In front of the circus tent, there is a puppet theater blocking the way in. Inside, carved wooden puppets dance to a hurdy-gurdy tune, playing out in miniature what will happen later that night. Acrobats tumble on their strings. A man does tricks with tigers and lions. A clown with a painted face juggles first 3, then 5, then a dozen marbles, and in the center, the ringmaster dances. There's a sign hung on the front of the puppet theater which reads, "The miracles begin at dusk." Eager and rude patrons attempt to catch a glimpse of the tireless puppeteer who keeps the little wooden dolls moving all day long. However, there's no one behind the curtain. Mechanical, someone says. It must be a very sophisticated bit of machinery. Miracle, another person says, as they watch the clown juggle the tiny glass spheres. It could only be a miracle. As the sun prepares to set, the puppets exit their stage one by one, each putting a little show on of hurrying off to prepare for their performance. The acrobats fly up and out of the frame. The lion tamer is chased by his cats. The clown's marbles vanish one by one until the last one is dropped and rolls off the puppet stage, and the clown runs after it. Then all is left is the ringmaster, and his little wooden form turns towards the gathered audience. A voice rings out over the din of the crowd. "Are you ready for the most magical night of your life?" The puppet theater bursts apart, and where it sat, the ringmaster now stands on a wooden box. He is tall with a black mustache and ice-gray eyes that seem to look directly at you, no matter where you stand. His coat is a brilliant crimson trimmed in sparkling gold, and his tall black boots are polished to a shine. He holds a silver baton which he tosses up into the air, and fireworks shoot above the tent, bathing the crowd in bright colors as the flaps of the tent open behind him. He catches the baton and points towards the entrance. "Welcome to the NEVERNOWHERE." Friedrich Weiss. I'm pronouncing that right, yes?
Yes.
Friedrich, in your world, the city is awash with smoke and the sounds of engines. These new automobiles putter and sputter through the streets, spooking the horses that still pull carts coming in from the country. People hurry through the busy metropolitan scene. It is the turn of the century, and this is your city. And it has electric lights, which illuminate the many stone statues, carved friezes, artful pediments that adorn the buildings and streets. The people, too, are illuminated as they bustle in cafes and salons, drinking imported coffee and listening to lectures on new sciences, new philosophies, from university men with bright ideas. You could have been one of these men, Friedrich, if many things had been very different. But now everything is in flames, and the smoke that surrounds you is not the smoke of a city of progress. It is personal. It is chemical. And in your hands, a brick. And on your hands, blood. Oh, Friedrich. How did this happen?
Well, it wouldn't have happened if Katarina's damnable father hadn't forced her into the engagement. And
The engagement? Is that what caused this?
Well, I had to prepare. I had to offer her an alternative. And I was on a timeline. So, of course, I took matters into my own hands. I accelerated my research.
Your research to do what?
To cure my affliction.
Ah, your affliction. That's right. Because Katarina, she hates smoke.
Yes, she's afraid, terribly afraid.
And you? Are you a smoker?
Well, I quit, but I suppose that's not what you're trying to say.
No, Friedrich. And now all of this has happened. And your affliction, it's worse than ever. And on your hands, the blood of the dean of the university, your employer, and, as you mentioned, tragically, the father of the girl you claim to love. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the bell of the trolley as it rolls through the street, and then a scream. And through the smoke, you see her, like a golden angel descending down to the depths of hell. Katarina runs through the smoke toward the crumpled body of her father. You have time. You could run to her, hold her in your arms, turn her eyes from this tragedy, but, well, the blood from your hands would mar her perfect face, and she would see. Friedrich, what would she see?
She can't see me like this.
And what is like this?
Friedrich is short. I suppose he might cut a dapper little figure, but he exudes an energy of bitterness that suffuses his small frame. His hair is wild, composer-like, with a stripe of white that's always been there. He has well-defined cheekbones, giving him a sort of skeletal look, and a little parted pencil mustache. He's dressed in shades of dark green. His manner of dress is a bit outdated and old-fashioned. He looks professorial. At the moment, silvery smoke is streaming out of his mouth and his delicately wrought nose.
Ah, yes. Your affliction. And yet, she runs towards you. What do you do?
There's gotta be a place I can hide in here.
Everything is aflame. No place to hide, but... well, the walls aren't what they used to be. Plenty of places to run.
I run.
All right. Pepper Pendergrass. For the past few days, the train has been stopped in a city by the sea. Well, it's always stopped in a city by the sea. It's just that the sea isn't always a sea. Sometimes it's a very large lake, or a river, or a rippling ocean of sand, or a frozen sheet of ice, or the void of space. But as often as not, it is the sea. What was the sea like in the world you came from, Pepper?
Oh, well, Now, what did it look like? Wet.
That's right. It must have been like that. It must have been wet.
I mean, it must have been, right?
It must have been.
9 out of 10 places we go, it's wet.
It must have been like that, yeah.
And moving.
Moving. Not all of them are moving.
I think mine was moving.
Well, that's not important, really, is it? Now, this is a very picturesque sea in front of you, with cheerful fishing boats bobbing in the bright blue water and calling seagulls wheeling above. Big fluffy clouds drift across the sky as it is painted gold and orange and pink by the quickly setting sun. It has been a good day. A very good day. Which is always nice when the train will be pulling out of the station soon. It's always nice to end your time in a new world on a high note. What was your good day like, Pepper?
Well, I woke up and I didn't fall off the train with any of my arms or feet. All the same people I remember from yesterday are still here, I think. And I went into the city.
What'd you do in the city?
Well, I played a show, of course.
That's right, but not a circus show.
A what? No, I'm a singer.
A singer? Did you make a lot of tips today?
Yes, extra tips. And the people at the bar were not bad looking, if I do say so myself.
Very good. You've had a great day. When you arrive at the top of the hill, you see that the circus is just beginning its slow hemming in. The last of the patrons are being ushered out, dazed and starry-eyed, while the performers pack up their acts in preparation for this strange and magical train to pack up the circus in the last hours before dawn. Night in this world is very short, and you found that out on your first day here. The sun stretched out long and languorous, and then dropped from the sky all at once, only to reemerge a mere hour later. It's a bit funny, but you've seen stranger. You've been with the train for some time now, right? How long?
Oh, yeah, I've been here for, weeks, months. It has to be years. Yeah, years and years and years and years and years.
Years. And how did it all start?
How did it all start? It started the way most things start, with a song.
With a song? Do you remember how it goes?
Oh, you know, a little bit of and you know.
There's a melody missing. Or maybe a harmony?
Yeah. For sure, yeah.
Yeah. And that melody or harmony has been gone a long time now.
Years and years, one might say.
Years and years. And years. But that's not important right now. While the rest of the circus is packing in, you head towards the side of the train. There's a group of 6 people, all of whom you remember. And they're loitering, keeping an eye on the circus as it packs up. They're dressed in a variety of mismatched and threadbare clothes. One of them raises her hand in greeting to you, calling out, "Hey girl, any luck today?"
Pepper pulls out a sack of coins and jangles it and goes, "You know it!"
And she laughs and claps. The woman's name is Sally, and she hopped aboard just a little while ago. Pepper, what does Sally see as you come towards her?
She sees a beautiful woman. But what Pepper looks like. Kind of medium height, red hair, buxom lady. She has like long hair, but it's kind of like pinned up on the sides, like a faux mullet, because the sides are pinned back and the top is like curly and crazy. She's wearing like patched up clothes that are mostly blue, but with like some white. And on her back, she has a lute, but the back of it is like reinforced with steel and there's like spikes on the bottom. So she can play it, but it's also her weapon.
Sally waves you over happily. As I said, she joined the train recently, but she didn't join the circus. She wasn't invited. None of you were invited. Emperor Valerian. In this version of the city, the towers of the castle cast a long shadow across the houses and the quiet streets. From the very tops of those towers, one can look out and see deep craters in the earth, the lasting scars of an awful war which still haunts the population as they hurry through the dark and shadowed avenues. There are some who say, whisper, really, that goodness died on the day the emperor won the war, that all hope died when the prince was struck down. There are many who have given up hope of ever lifting the boot from their throats and live their lives with their heads down, wishing only that they will get through each day unnoticed by the cruel tyrant who has taken their kingdom. And yet, new graffiti has been popping up. A splash of yellow paint and the words written in a hurried scrawl. The dawn will come. Emperor Valerian, you stand in front of this graffiti. How do you feel about it?
There is a sense of loss, but also I knew this day would come.
Tonight you have left behind your scepter, your crown, and your fine furs. You, the dark emperor of these choked lands, have slipped from the castle walls in disguise. Tell me, how have you hidden yourself from your own guards? What have you disguised yourself as?
Valerian is in a peasant's tunic, and he is wearing more of a hood. He has very, very bright, like salmon pink hair. It's extremely noticeable. He has his hair braided back behind his head, and he has a hood over his head to hide the hair away, but he's dressed as a rat catcher. So he he has friends among the rat catchers. Like, he makes sure that he is always kind of well acquainted with at least one person in every profession that works in the palace. And so he has procured a rat catcher uniform, which has a little basket on the hip for rats.
Alive rats?
whatever.
I almost hate to ask, is there a rat in the basket now?
You want to look close?
I am.
There's a rat. He did not catch it himself. That's what he had his friend for, and the rat is alive. And it's squealing and squeaking, and he's in a stoop, faked, and he's kind of limping around, and every few minutes he bangs on the cage and he says, "Hush!" to the rat. Whenever somebody looks at him weird.
I have so many questions.
Emperor Valerian, why have you done this? Why have you come out of your palace?
Well, I've seen the writing on the wall. I mean, there is very little that I can do to stop it. I know how these cycles manifest. I manifest them myself. And I'm bored with this. The people, they hate me, which is fine. They hate me. The people's ire has been long building against me and my regime, and I'm ready for something different, something new. I've no ties binding me to this place.
Well, no ties but your throne and your government, but...
They're meaningless. I can rebuild my throne, I can rebuild government. Easy. What I need is stimulation. I don't have that here anymore.
Ah, but stimulation has come to you in the form of a circus. A circus that arrived very suddenly and which none of your spies or advisors could give you any information on. Each day, your agents have returned more confused and frustrated than the last, unable to even accurately describe to you what goes on inside the colorful tent that stands defiant against the darkness of this city. They could tell you nothing about the people who run the show or where they had come from. All that they can say is that they came in on a strange train which they haven't been able to find a way to board. And so you've come to see for yourself. Inside the tent, all of the noises that should have echoed on the silent streets burst forth all at once. Your citizens ooh and ah and laugh in delight as they watch a small dog do backflips.
Cookie, you're there!
They drink concoctions that smell divine, familiar, and otherworldly all at once. They watch as two men run across a contraption of spinning wheels, jumping and flipping, always moving in tandem to keep the wheels in motion. And so, Emperor, what shall you do on your night in the circus?